Hey everybody, David here, and today I'm going to tell you guys my list for my top 10 superheroes in the Arrowverse. If you watch Arrow, The Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Supergirl, you know there are many heroes in this universe. And I wanted to tell you guys who my top 10 are. I think there were a lot of great ones. I like a lot of the characters in this universe, but there are 10 specific ones that I really wanted to talk about and showcase. Now, guys, if you don't have any of these characters on your list and you have other characters that you wish were represented, be cool. Don't diss each other. Don't be a troll. Just comment below and tell me your list of characters that you wish I would have put on. Showcase your characters on your own. Let's have a discussion about this. Let's talk about our favorite characters on the show, why we love them, why we don't. I don't know, any way you want. This is not worst, this is our favorites. So let's get right into it. My first favorite character, which is in 10th place, is Garrick. The original Flash in the comics, the Golden Age Flash, but in this show he's a Flash from an alternate Earth, which I believe in the comics he's that as well. Yeah, I really like Jay, the character of Garrick, played by John Wesley Shipp, who played the original Barry Allen in the 1990s. I think he does a really great job in this role, and to see him mentoring Barry on the man he can become just like Jay. I really like that mentor dynamic, and seeing John Wesley Shipp play this role. I think it's cool because we got to see him as a father in the original timeline, but then when Henry was killed, we learned that, wait a minute, this Garrick character looks exactly like Henry Allen, and Henry did kind of say that Garrick was like his maiden's name, his mother's last name. So it's really cool getting to see this actor play this role and getting to see this live action incarnation of this classic character. Number 9, I have Diggle, John Diggle, aka Spartan. I'm going to admit I actually like Diggle better without the suit, without the helmet. But whatever works, if he wants to be a superhero, let him. Diggle is badass. He deserves to go out there alongside Oliver kicking ass. But I think he was more badass without the suit. I don't think Diggle really needs the suit. I think he's a superhero no matter with or without the suit. So it's like, the suit's cool. The helmet looks a little dorky, just like Magneto's helmet. Like one of the I think it was not Firestorm, Pyro in X-Men 2. He says your helmet looks a little dorky or something, and then Magneto responds, "Yeah, well, this dorky little helmet is gonna help you survive," or something like that. Diggle doesn't need to say that because he's badass. So moving on. Number 8, I have Sarah Lance, who was the original Black Canary, now the White Canary on Legends of Tomorrow. When she was reborn, she became the White Canary because her sister Laurel took over as the new Black Canary. Sarah, to me, is the better Black Canary. I'm going to admit this. I like Laurel. I'm not a Laurel hater. Like, I know there are Laurel haters out there, and we're happy when they killed her off. I was not happy that they killed Laurel off. But I will admit that I did like Sarah a little bit more than Laurel. So I'm really happy the way the character has went. When they killed her off, I was kind of sad about it because I wanted her to continue on. But then they did bring her back in the episode where John Constantine came on. And that's where the character is really blossoming even more right now than ever before, I think. Seeing her as the leader of the Legends right now, the captain of the Legends, I think it's a great choice for the character and where she's going, and I can't wait to see more of her in Legends of Tomorrow Season 3. Number 7 on my list, I have Clark Kent himself, Superman. This was a tough one for me because when I look at superheroes overall, Superman and Batman are like my top 2 favorite superheroes. But this is not an overall superhero thing. This is the Arrowverse version of Superman. And so he's more of a guest star. He's kind of like a second fiddle among some of these other heroes. But still, Superman is such a great character that they do such a great job for him. It was hard for me. I was kind of conflicted. Do I want to put Superman down here? But then I had to think of what was this Superman alone like compared to the rest of the Arrowverse. I had to erase my mind from Christopher Reeve, Tom Welling, Henry Cavill. I had to erase my mind of all of those and only focus on the Superman that we got on this show, which was only 3 episodes. And from what we got, he plays more like a supporting character to Kara, which is great. And he's a great supporting character. And that's why he's not too high on my list, because I didn't think it was fair to put a supporting character over some of the more other characters that I have on my list, especially a supporting character that's only been around for 3 episodes. Number 6 on my list, I have Constantine, John Constantine. That's right. This one I was debating also if I should have on my list, because John Constantine, is he part of the Arrowverse? I think as soon as he crossed over with Arrow, yes, he became Constantine. The show became a part of the Arrowverse. So with that, even though I wasn't a huge fan of the TV show Constantine, I did love the character Constantine that Matt Ryan played. So that's why I had to put him on my list. He's a character that I would welcome back to this universe on any of the shows, anytime. And if they gave Constantine a second season, I know they're giving him an animated series. I might want to check that out if CW releases it on DVD or some format that Canadians can watch it, because we don't have the CW seat over here. I would totally watch it. And if they brought back the show for a second season, I would watch it again too. And Matt Ryan is awesome. Let's bring him back. Number 5 on my list, I have Cisco Ramon, also known as The Vibe. This character started as a supporting character on The Flash and has now grown into an official superhero who even has a little fling going on with Gypsy, which I really enjoy. I was just rewatching The Flash Season 3 again, and that's one of the highlights of Season 3, I think, was his little interaction, his romance with Gypsy going on there, his flirtation with her. But even as a hero, I think Vibe has a really cool power. I mean, he can see alternate Earths. He can see where people have come from. He can read their past, see their future. I think he has a whole amazing abilities. And Cisco as a character is just a great character, except when he's moping around. So let's not see no more mopey Cisco coming back. Okay, let's keep Cisco happy. Let's keep him doing movie references, and let's make him familiar. We love him because he represents us in some ways, the fans. Number 4, I have Kara Danvers, or Kara Zor-El, or I think we can all call her Supergirl, played by Melissa Benoist. I think Kara is a great character. She is the female version of her cousin, definitely. Someone that has a heart of gold. She can be considered a Girl Scout, although she tries to be a little tough once in a while, like with Snapper Carr or Cat Grant. But she can't. They always laugh at her, and they're like, "Okay, little girl, you're not that tough, but you can continue pretending to be." But sometimes Kara does prove herself to be an ace reporter, and when she's a superhero, when she's flying and kicking some ass, she proves that she can do all that, girl or no girl. She is a girl for many women, inspiring women to look up to. And I think that's what makes Kara great. I think she is a character that wants to, not just follow in her cousin's footsteps. She wants to make her own name for herself. And she succeeds at that in many ways. And I love her relationship with her sister as well. I think that's what makes her strong, all these relationships and people that she has surrounding her. And in some ways, maybe she can even be better than her cousin, or at least on this show, she's definitely better than her cousin and more interesting. Number 3 on my list, I have the Martian Manhunter, John Jones, who is in charge of the CEO or DCO or whatever. I forgot what the name of the organization right now. But yes, I love Martian Manhunter, man. The character in general is a great character and vastly underused in any medium. We got a version of him in Smallville, but the version we got here is even better and succeeds at every level. Why? Mostly because we get to see him in his green form. That to me is really cool. I remember when he turned into his green form for the first time, I was freaking out because this was something Smallville never gave us. They always had him in his human form, and now this show clearly has a slightly better budget than Smallville, so they can give us the Martian Manhunter we've been waiting for. It would be cool if he was always in his green form, but I get it. This is television production, and guess what? They pull off aliens way better than the Inhumans, so... Number 2, I have Oliver Queen, the Green Arrow. That's right. I guess you can probably guess what number 1 is going to be. But let's talk about Green Arrow here for a second. Green Arrow is the Batman of the Arrowverse. The creators, the producers of the show have not shied away that this is a Batman ripoff. Not ripoff. Let's use a nicer term. This show is influenced by the Dark Knight trilogy. And if they're not going to hide it, that's fine. And you know what? In the comics, Green Arrow has always been a Batman ripoff, if you think about it. So it makes sense that they would be inspired by a modern day Batman for this new modern interpretation of the Green Arrow. And I love it. I think this universe, this Arrowverse, does need a Batman in it. If we can't have Batman, then make Green Arrow that role. He works best at that, and in many ways he's the most badass character on the show. I was actually very conflicted on who I was going to put at number 1. It was either going to be Oliver Queen or someone else, which we're going to talk about right now. At number 1, I have, you guessed it, Barry Allen. This is the character. If Oliver Queen is like the Batman of this universe, Barry Allen is the Superman of this universe. He's the one that's gold. He has a heart of gold. He wants to do the best he can. He can be pretty optimistic at times when he's not, moping. But sometimes he doesn't mope. And I really love Barry when he is not, just sad about himself. He's happy that he has these powers. He's happy that he can do good. But sometimes tragedy does happen, and once in a while that does make Barry a really interesting character when he loses somebody that he loves, and he has to deal with it, try to find a way to fix it. And, Barry is relatable in that sense where he wants to go back in time to, change things, to try to make things better, and then he realizes he made a mistake. It's just like Oliver Queen said. Any of us would probably do the same thing if we had those powers. And that's what the show showcases. They showcase that Barry is human just like us, and he would make the exact same mistakes that we would. And that's what we love about Barry. And when he realizes those mistakes, he tries to fix them. And maybe he screws up again. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he changes things for the best. Who knows? But yes, Barry is my number 1 favorite character out of the Arrowverse. So guys, that's it. Those are my top 10 favorite characters from this universe. I hope you guys agree with me. If not, like I said, comment below and type down your top 10 favorite characters from these shows, these 4 incredible shows. And pretty soon, maybe we're going to have a 5th or 6th show with Titans or with Black Lightning. Who knows? Any show can verge, any DC show can verge with the Arrowverse. And don't be afraid to add Constantine too, because yes, that show is now part of the Arrowverse, and Vixen is a cool character as well. I wish I could have added her, but there's so many great characters, I didn't know who else to add. Vixen, we haven't really had enough of Vixen, unless you count the Vixen on Legends of Tomorrow, which I also really enjoy. I think she's a great character as well. But the other Vixen hasn't, we only got one animated movie with her and one episode appearance on Arrow. So I think it's easier to judge the other Vixen, who we got a little bit more of in Legends of Tomorrow and we'll be getting more of in Season 3. So with that being said, guys, that's my list. And until next time, take care.